Hi children, good morning. So far we have seen the three important historical places like Taj Mahal, Nalanda University and Konark Temple. So we have seen that Taj Mahal is one of the seven wonders of the world, and here the Mughal emperor who built that Taj Mahal, Shah Jahan, for his beloved wife, Mumtaz. Now we have seen the greatness of the Taj Mahal also, that is made up of precious stones, white marbles, and the dome is also there, that's very famous, and it attracts many tourists. Okay, so that is a famous tourist place also, which is located in Agra. Okay, it is in the Delhi. And next one we have seen the Nalanda University. So that Nalanda University is located in where, children? Yes, Bihar, Patna, and that is also the best tourist place. You can find a big library also there. So many historical books, so many books are there, and there also we have seen usually books like astronomy, mathematics and philosophy. The Buddhist mosques are built like a row of small rooms around the courtyard. And next one, the monasteries are towards the east and temple towards the west. The third one is Konark Temple. The Sun Temple at Konark is located in Orissa. It's a beautiful stone temple built in the form of a chariot of the sun god. And we know that it is made up of sandstone. It has 12 pairs of wheels and 7 horses. The spokes of the wheels are carved as sundials, and it can tell the time of the day. 2 giant lions guard the entrance gate also. Next one is Golconda Fort. What is that, children? Golconda Fort. The fort of Golconda is situated near Hyderabad, Telangana. So where it is situated, children? Hyderabad. And this is in which state? Telangana. So the fort of Golconda is situated near Hyderabad, Telangana. It was built in the 13th century. Which century, children? It was built in the 13th century. See how much old it is. Children, have you ever gone to Golconda Fort? Yes, it's a very, very, very beautiful place and historical place. And here it is located on a hill. You can see the Golconda even few kilometers if you are far also. Okay, so that means that is located on a hill. So it is located on a hill, children. Next one, it has 10 kilometers long thick outer wall. So what is there? 10 kilometers long. 10 kilometers long thick outer wall. Long, thick and outer wall. Yes, children, if you go to Golconda, you can observe that wall is a very long, 10 kilometers. See how much distance. And you can travel also. Okay, from the 10 kilometers, so you can travel inside also. You can observe so many things. Okay, even you have to cross the city, and you have to cross a place, you have to cross small pond also. So next one, there are number of cannons, gateways and royal rooms. Okay, so children, the wall is 10 kilometers long and it is a thick also. Now here see, there are a number of cannons. There are number of cannons Cannons means large guns, children, which are used in war in the olden days. Next one, gateways. You can see gateways also. Such a beautiful place, children. Large number of cannons, gateways, and royal rooms also. And royal rooms which were used by the kings. So here there were a large number of cannons, gateways, and royal rooms. The most interesting feature of this fort is that, what is the most important feature, children? Have you observed any time? In such a way that when the king would clap, so the most interesting feature is that in this fort is that when the king would clap, the sound could be heard at the fort's main gate. See, the wall is 10 kilometers long and thick, and it's a large fort also. And when the king would clap, the sound could be heard in the fort's main gate. See, that is the most interesting feature. This was of great use at the time of attack or outside threat. So, usually in the olden days, I mean these kings, Kutushabi kings or Mughal emperors or whatever you take, which, and even the Kakatiya also. So if you observe, there will be, there are certain things, attacking the kingdom of, attacking the kingdoms of others. So when there was a threat from the other kingdoms or from the enemies, so when the king would clap, the sound could be heard to the main gate and all of them alerted. Okay, so this makes the soldiers, this makes the people of that kingdom could alert when there was a threat. The fort consists of a palace. So here if you observe, the fort consists of a palace. The fort consists of a palace, parade ground. Children, do you know parade ground? Yes, used to march. Like left, right, parade ground. And mosque. Why? Because that was a Muslim kingdom. So mosque was there. Now it is also, you can see the mosque when you go to the visit for Golconda. Armory. Armory is a place where weapons are used to prepare and the weapons are used to store. Next one, and other structures. Armory and other structures. So here see, the fort consists of a palace, parade ground, mosque, armory and other structures. The main gate of the fort is called Fateh Darwaza. So what is the main gate, children? The main gate of the fort is called Fateh. That is Fateh Darwaza. Fateh Darwaza. It is the main gate of the fort. It's the main gate. The main gate of the fort is called Fateh Darwaza, or the gate that is also called as Gate of Victory, and has steel spikes on it to protect the fort from elephant attacks during wars. So that Fateh Darwaza is the main gate and it has steel spikes. So when there was a war, usually animals are also involved in that, especially elephants and horses. So when there is when there is an attack of elephants, when the elephant will attack, automatically these steel spikes protect the kingdom, and when these steel spikes are there, the elephants won't come into that. So that is why the main gate is made up of the steel spikes, okay, during the wars. So this is about the greatness of the Golconda. Once again I repeat here, see, The fort of Golconda is situated near Hyderabad, Telangana. It was built in which century, children? 13th century, and is located on a hill. It is located on a hill. It has 10 kilometers long thick outer wall. And there are number of cannons. Cannons are called as large guns. Next one is gateways and royal rooms. And next one, the most important feature of this fort is that it is built in such a way that when the king would clap, the sound could be heard at the fort's main gate. This was of the great use at the time of an attack and outside threat. Threat is nothing but danger. And the fort consists of a palace, parade ground, mosque, armory is the place for weapons and other structures. The main gate of the fort, what is the main gate, children? It is called Fateh Darwaza, or the gate of victory. It has steel spikes on it to protect the fort from elephant attacks during wars. Okay. Children, now see the Mysore Palace. It is also a beautiful place located or situated in which state? Karnataka. See the greatness of the Mysore Palace. Mysore Palace is situated in Mysore. So it is situated in Mysore of Karnataka. Mysore of Karnataka. This famous place was first built in which century, children? 14th century. This famous place was first built in 14th century and has been broken and rebuilt many times. See, children, from 14th century means it's old, no. It has broken and again rebuilt many times. The palace is a blend of, that means mixture of, it is a mixture of Hindu, Muslim, it is a mixture of Hindu, Muslim and Western architecture. See the architecture, children. Architecture means the design. So it is a blend of Hindu, Muslim and Western architecture. It is built from stone and has 3 stories with deep pink marble domes and a tower. See, children, it is built from stone. So this, here see, this palace is built from stone and has 3 stories. Stories means 3 floors. Stories means floors, children. Okay, 3 stories. It has 3 stories, that is floors. Stories means floors with deep pink marble domes. Marble domes. Dome is the thing which is present on the top, and a tower also. And a tower also. See the features or specialty of this Mysore Palace. It is built from a stone, and next one, it has 3 stories with deep pink marbles, and next one here, see, not only that, it has a dome and a tower. The palace has carved rooms. What do you mean by carved rooms, children? Carved is nothing but it is made from the wood or stone. Wood or stone has been cut to make the design. Carved rooms. Okay. Next one is royal wedding hall. It has a royal wedding hall, children. Wedding hall. Royal wedding hall. Next one, temples, public court, armory, etc. Dasara festival has been celebrated at the palace for last 200 years. See, children, you can observe. Now the Dasara celebrations are also, Dasara festival has been celebrated, okay, at the palace for the last 200 years. During the festival, the entire palace is lit by beautiful light, and many artists perform at the palace. For the last 200 years, the Dasara celebrations are going on. So Dasara festival has been celebrated. It has been celebrated at the palace for last 200 years, and during this festival the palace is beautifully lightened, decorated, okay, and many artists perform at that palace. So here this is a beautiful palace, children. Now once again you see, the Mysore palace is situated in which state? Karnataka, and a place Mysore. This famous palace was built in which century, children? 14th century, and it has been broken also and rebuilt many times. Why? Because this is a historical place. The palace is a blend or mixture of Hindu, Muslim and Western architecture. That is the design. It is built from stone and has 3 floors with deep pink marble domes. And next one, and a tower is also there. Let us see the speciality. It has a carved rooms, a royal wedding hall, temples, public court, armory. Armory means it is a place used to store all the weapons, etc. Now, since 200 years, Dasara festival has been celebrating there, and during that festival, the palace is lightened beautifully, and many artists perform at that palace. See the beauty of this world famous. This is also the famous India famous palace, that is Mysore Palace. Even a world from different, the countries also, the people will visit this place. Okay, children? Children, now see the other one, Humayun's tomb. Humayun's tomb. See, children, the figure, this is the Humayun's tomb. Humayun was a Mughal king. So, he is a Mughal king. Humayun was a Mughal king, children. And the Mughal emperor. He is a Mughal emperor or the Mughal king, and father of famous emperor Akbar. So, Humayun is the father of, children, do you know Akbar? Akbar and Birbal stories. Yes, that Akbar. Humayun is the father of the famous emperor Akbar. After the death of Humayun, his wife Hazi Begum. After the death of Humayun, his wife Hazi Begum. His wife Hazi Begum started the construction of this tomb in the 16th century. In which century, children? 16th century in Delhi. 16th century in Delhi. So here see, after the death of Humayun, his wife Hazi Begum started the construction of this tomb in 16th century in Delhi. A Persian architect. Architect is the person who designs. Okay, a Persian, here see, architect. A Persian architect. A Persian architect was especially invited from Afghanistan to design the structure. See, children, he is a Persian architect, and he is from Afghanistan, and he has been invited to the India and especially to design this tomb. This tomb is built with, see the features, specialities, built with a red sandstone in the middle of a square garden. In the middle of a square garden, red sandstone. It is made up of red sandstone. See how beauty it is. In the middle of a square garden, it is built with a red sandstone. It has charbagh gardens. It has charbagh. What are those, children? Charbagh gardens. It has charbagh gardens, a beautiful one, with water channels running at its center. In the center the water channels were there. It is one of the most famous garden tombs in India. So it is one of the most famous garden tombs in India. Several rulers of the Mughal kingdom are buried in this tomb after the death. Anyway, we also will be buried under the earth. So several rulers of the Mughal kingdom are buried in the tomb. Humayun's tomb is now a world heritage, world famous site. It's a world heritage site. So once again I repeat, Humayun was the Mughal king and the father of the famous Emperor Akbar. After the death of the Humayun, his wife Hazi Begum, what is her name? Hazi Begum started the construction of this tomb in 16th century in Delhi. For this, a famous Persian architect was invited from Afghanistan to design this one. And this tomb is made with red sandstone in the middle of a square garden. It has charbagh gardens and center water channels are there. It is one of the most famous garden tombs in India. Several rulers of the Mughal kingdom are buried in this tomb. Humayun's tomb is now a world heritage, site. Children, now see the other one, St. Cathedral Church. The St. Cathedral Church in Goa is the largest church in Asia. So it is in Goa, which is the largest church in Asia. It's a continent which is the biggest in this continent. Say Cathedral Church is the biggest one, which is there in Goa. The church altar is nothing but it's a big table which is dedicated, which is the religious ceremony. The church altar is dedicated to Saint Catherine of Alexandria. So it is dedicated to Saint Catherine, Saint Catherine of Alexandria. So here see, Saint Cathedral Church is present in the Goa, which is the largest church in Asia. And here if you'll observe, the church altar is dedicated to Saint Catherine of Alexandria, who was a Christian scholar. So he was a Christian. He was a Christian scholar. And saint of the 4th century. Which century, children? 4th century. He was a saint. It has 5 bells, of which the largest one known as, it has 5 bells, children, of which the largest one known as the Golden Bell is the largest church bell in Goa. So 5 bells and the Golden Bell. So the Golden Bell is the largest, it is the largest church bell. Largest church bell in Goa. The church is influenced by Portuguese architecture. What is that, children? Portuguese. It is influenced by Portuguese architecture. Portuguese architecture. The church is influenced by Portuguese. The Portuguese people are there, no? So it is influenced by Portuguese architecture. The construction of this church took 100 years. So how many years, children? It took 100 years and it was completed in the 17th century. So it was completed in the 17th century. So it was completed in the 17th century. So this is the greatness of the church. Let's see. The Say Cathedral Church in Goa is the largest church in Asia. The church's altar is dedicated to Saint Catherine of Alexandria, who was a Christian scholar and saint of the 4th century. It has 5 bells. It has how many bells? 5 bells, children, and which the largest one known as the golden bell. Okay, the golden bell is the largest church bell in Goa, and this church is influenced by Portuguese architecture. The design is Portuguese design is there. The construction of this church took 100 years and was completed in 17th century. See children, 100 years means 1 century it took for the construction, and it is completed in 17th century. So here this church religious ceremony is dedicated to which person? Catherine of Alexandria is a Christian scholar and a saint in the 4th century. Okay. Now see Jantar Mantar. So this is also the interesting place and famous place. Jantar Mantar, it is located at Jaipur, is the largest stone observatory in the world. So Jantar Mantar is located at Jaipur. So largest, it is the largest stone observatory. Largest stone observatory in the world. Largest stone observatory in the world. It was built by Maharaja Jai Singh. So who built this, children? It was built by Maharaja Jai Singh. It was built by Maharaja Jai Singh. So here see, Jantar Mantar is located at Jaipur. It is the largest stone observatory in the world. It was built by Maharaja Jai Singh in the early 18th century. In the early 18th century. So in the early 18th century, because of his keen interest in astronomy. Astronomy is the study of sun, moon, stars, etc. So due to the keen interest in the astronomy, it was built by Maharaja Jai Singh in 18th century, and it is the largest stone observatory, children, in the world, which is located in Jaipur. So here see, the observatory has 14 large instruments. How many instruments, children? 14 large instruments. 14 large instruments was there to measure time. To measure time and determines the position of planets. One of its instruments, Samrat Yantra. So one of the instrument, what is that name? Samrat Yantra. One of the instruments, Samrat Yantra, or giant sundial. Samrat Yantra or giant sundial is the largest sundial in the world. This giant sundial is the largest sundial in the world. What is the meaning of sundial, children? When sun falls on that particular instrument, it shows the time. Okay, so the shadow of the sundial moves with every second and can tell the time with precision. I told you just now. Now the shadow of the sundial moves with every second and it tells the time with precision. Many Indian monuments are known for their sculptures also. Beautiful monuments and sculptures. Two of these monuments are discussed. Now let us see here once again. Jantar Mantar is located at Jaipur. It's the largest stone observatory. So it is located at Jaipur. It is the largest stone observatory. And here see, who built this, children? Maharaja Jai Singh. In which century? 18th century. Because of his interest in the sun, moon and the stars. That is called astronomy. The observatory has how many large instruments? 14 large instruments to measure the time and determines the position of the planets. So we know that we have 8 planets. Earlier we used to have 9 planets. Which planet is deleted? That is Pluto. Okay. So here, and the position of the planets also determines by this with this observatory. One of its instrument, that is Samrat Yantra, or great giant means big. Sundial is the largest sundial in the world. And the shadow of the sundial moves with every second and can tell the time with precision. Okay. Children, now see Sanchi Stupa. What is this? Sanchi Stupa. The stupa at the hilltop of Sanchi is well known Buddhist monument. So it is well known Buddhist. It is well known, you see, Buddhist monument. It is well known Buddhist monument. The great stupa at Sanchi was originally built by the Mauryan emperor. Who built this? Mauryan emperor. Emperor means king. Okay, so the Mauryan king built this Sanchi Stupa, and here Mauryan emperor king name is Ashoka. What is his name? Ashoka. What is his name, children? Ashoka. About 2300 years ago. How many years ago? 2300 years ago, this Ashoka, who is a Mauryan emperor, who built Sanchi Stupa. And next one, it is a Buddhist monument. It is a Buddhist monument. And here, Sanchi is also on the list of World Heritage Sites. So this is also World Heritage Site. It is a list, in which list? World Heritage Site. And Sanchi Stupa is known all over the world for its hemispherical dome, 4 gateways and sculptures. Hemi means half. Hemispherical dome. Next one is 4 gateways. Hemispherical dome, 4 gateways and sculptures. 4 gateways and sculptures. So here see, this Sanchi Stupa. This Sanchi Stupa is known all over the world for its hemispherical dome, 4 gateways and sculptures. The 4 gateways carved completely from stone. Carved means cut. The 4 gateways cut completely from the stone, children. Here see, now you can observe the dome, which is a half moon. Here see, this is a half moon shaped, and here it is completely carved from the stone. Shows scenes from Buddha's life. So Buddha, Gautama Buddha, okay, is a famous one. Okay, and here these 4 gateways carved completely from the stone shows scenes from Buddha's life. So Gautama Buddha, he is a very okay great person, and he is meant for the peace. His teachings are very interesting, and most of the carvings Buddha is shown as the Bodhi tree or other forms in nature. Bodhi tree, what is that, children? Bodhi tree. So under the Bodhi tree only, okay, he got, here see, under the Bodhi tree only he realized and he got the knowledge. Okay, so in most of the carvings Buddha is shown as the Bodhi tree or other forms in nature. Sanchi Stupa is considered as one of the best preserved ancient Buddhist monument in the world. Preserved, which is stored. Okay, ancient means previous. Buddhist monument in the world. See, this is world famous. So once again I tell, the stupa, Sanchi stupa is at the Billtop. The stupa at the Billtop of Sanchi is well-known Buddhist monument. It is a well-known Buddhist monument. The great stupa at Sanchi was originally built by the Mauryan king or emperor. Who is that? Ashoka, about 2300 years ago. It is also in the list of world's heritage site. Sanchi stupa is known all over the world for its hemispherical dome. Hemi, here see, it is a hemi means half circle, hemispherical dome, okay, and 4 gateways. Sphere is there, hemisphere is half the sphere. 4 gateways and sculptures are there. The specialty of the gateways is that these gateways are carved completely from the stone, and here they show the scenes from the Buddha's life. In most of the carvings and in most of the cuttings, Buddha is shown as the Bodhi tree and other forms in nature. Sanchi Stupa is considered as one of the best preserved ancient Buddhist monuments in the world. Okay. Now see children, Khajuraho temples. Khajuraho temples. The town of Khajuraho in Madhya Pradesh is famous for its group of Hindu and Jain temples. So it is there in Madhya Pradesh. In which state, children? Madhya Pradesh. So this town of Khajuraho is Madhya Pradesh, and it is famous for Hindu and Jain temples. Hindu and Jain temples. Hindu and Jain temples. These temples were built by the Chandela Rajputs. Which Rajputs, children? Chandela. See, these were built by Chandela Rajputs. Chandela Rajputs of Rajasthan. Chandela Rajputs of Rajasthan. Chandela Rajputs of Rajasthan about 1000 years ago. How many years? 1000 years. See how much old it is. 1000 years ago. So here see Khajuraho temples. The town of Khajuraho in Madhya Pradesh is famous for its group of Hindu and Jain temples. These temples were built by whom, children? Yes, Chandela Rajputs of Rajasthan, about 1000 years ago. These are 3 groups of temples here. These are 3 groups of temples here: Western, Eastern and Southern. Western, Eastern and Southern. Western means west, east, and Eastern is east, and Southern is south. So 3 groups of temples built by the Rajputs of Rajasthan. Huge stones. Let us see the specialities of these temples. Huge stones weighing up to 20 tons. How many, children? Weighing up to 20 tons. 1 ton is equal to 1000 kgs. Okay, 20 tons weight. Okay, the stone weight is 20 tons weight has been used to construct the temples. That is the speciality. Okay, huge stones weighing up to 20 tons have been used to construct the temples. The walls are carved with beautiful human figures. Okay, I told you already about the meaning of carving, means cutting. Okay, now the walls of these temples are carved with beautiful human figures that show the everyday life of the common people of that time. Of that time means 1000 years ago, the people used to stay there, and now this monument, I mean these temples, were built by Rajputs of Rajasthan. It is there in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, it is there in Madhya Pradesh. And town, which town? Khajuraho town. So Khajuraho town is there. So in that town, these temples are famous for Hindu and Jain. Hindu and Jain temples. What is the speciality? Yes, 20 tons kgs of stone have been used for the construction. And what are there, children? Yes, the walls are curved. Like how they are curved? They show the human figures of that time, I mean their everyday life, so here the walls are curved with beautiful human figures that show the everyday life of the common people of that time. Khajuraho is now a world heritage site, so it is also a world's famous site, children. Okay,